Hi, everybody. How are you? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Um, Welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Brozovic Astrology. I had some technical situation with my camera. The one that I usually use doesn't work today. Nevertheless, I'm here to talk about the upcoming full moon in Sagittarius that is going to happen on June 11th, 2025. Before I dive into the full moon, a few things I just want to let you know. If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, please go. I have a huge giveaway happening in June. You can win 2 hour reading from me, a natal chart reading, a year ahead forecast, and astrocartography. That's number one. Second thing, new moon phase planner for the summer 2025 is out. A link is below in the descriptions. You can download it for free. Third thing, my lecture for ESAR on the art of strategic thinking when Mercury meets Pallas Athena is coming next Sunday, June 15th. Not this Sunday, but following Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Link for registration is also below if you're interested. What else do I have? No, I think that's it. I hope everybody's doing okay. Gemini season is in its peak. So this is the full moon, is the last lunation for this Gemini season. Okay, first the technicalities. So this full moon is happening on 20 degrees and 39 minutes of Sagittarius. So this will affect mostly all of the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And especially you who have planets or important placements in your chart between 17 and 23 degrees of mutable signs. That's very important. Just to note that this full moon is part of the larger lunar family. So new moon that happened on the 12th of December 2023 at 20 Sagittarius. Whatever was happening around that time, now it's coming to its peak, to its fruition. So think about what happened that time. What seed did you plant it? What intentions did you put out there? So this might be a topic as well. First quarter was September 11, 2024, when some action maybe happened as well. Sabian symbol, I just like to use them just to give us a little bit, maybe some other perspective. As a Gemini, I like to see other perspectives as well. So the Sabian symbol for this lunation, so for the 20 to 21 degrees of Sagittarius, is a child and a dog with borrowed eyeglasses. It's a little bit weird, right? But it's all about, the point is that always illusion and meaning of everything is very subjective, which it is, right? So we must we must examine everything without prejudice, which we have some problems with during this lunation, which is interesting. So that is kind of a topic for this. Okay, before I share the chart of this full moon, let's just talk a little bit about what is this Sagittarius Gemini polarity. Okay, what is the Sagittarius new moon all about? What does the full moon mean? Full moon is when the moon and the sun are opposing each other. It's the brightest moon. It's very big and bright, and so the moon is in between the sun and earth. Let's say it's a full moon. So the sun is shining the light on moon. Moon is usually something private, something intimate. It's our feelings, our vulnerability, our sense of security. So we don't really like to showcase that part of ourselves. We like to showcase more our sun sign than our moon sign. So during the full moons, everything is kind of, all the hidden things are kind of coming up to the surface, and coming to our awareness, and we might be more vulnerable just because we see, many things can come to the light that we maybe are not, maybe they don't want to share with the world. So that's a general feeling of the full moon. As Frank Clifford says, this is the time when the party happens. So new moon is, you're setting attention that you want to have a party. First quarter, you send invitations out, and now this is the party. So during the party, a lot of things can happen. People can get drunk, people can get wild. During the full moons, people go a little bit crazy anyway. So that's very interesting thing, right? So what is the moon in Sagittarius all about? It's a, so Sagittarius is a truth seeker. It's a wanderer. It's a traveler. It's an explorer. It's ruled by Jupiter. So we want to expand our horizons. We want to expand our mind. Yes. But what does that mean for a moon? What does that moon in Sagittarius actually need? It needs space. It needs freedom to explore. It needs definitely space and time to be able to wonder and find the answers, find the deeper meaning of life. Okay, so people who have a moon in Sagittarius in general are more adventurous, more more on a on a quest. They're kind of going on a quest. They have strong belief. It's very important that their belief system is very important to feel safe, to be around, to be surrounded with people who have the same belief system as them, same philosophies of life. They always are looking for a deeper meaning of things, and they like to explore. It's about going beyond. If Gemini is our local environment, Sagittarius is opposite. It's everything else but local environment. Okay, so that's the first polarity between them, right? Because I'm going to talk a little bit about polarity, because full moon is about finding the middle ground or the balance between our Gemini sign and our Sagittarius side of our charts, right? Because we all have Gemini and Sagittarius somewhere, right? So Gemini is about facts, figures, data, information, and Sagittarius is about philosophies and beliefs, right? So that's the big difference. Second thing is, Gemini likes to go around just on the surface, just scroll, look quickly. Oh, this is the title. This is what's happening. And Gemini wants to know what's happening local, what's happening with the neighbor, what's happening with this person. They're like on a more gossipy side. But and they're just focused on a local environment and basic things. Sagittarius likes a big. He has the whole picture in his head. He's answering. He's giving answers to the big question. Okay, like for example, what is our purpose in life here? Does God exist? Stuff like that, right? Gemini is not really focused on that. They just want to know what's happening to the neighbor Anne, right? So, as I mentioned, Gemini is about information and knowledge and learning. They're both about learning, but Sagittarius is about higher education, about the wisdom and meaning of life, as I mentioned. Sagittarius usually likes to gain its wisdom and knowledge by experiencing the world, right? Like Gemini doesn't have to experience. They just, if they read or hear something, that's fine with them. But Sagittarius wants to be involved, wants to explore by himself, right? That therefore Gemini is forever student, and Sagittarius is more of a forever teacher preacher, right? There's a thin line, because they sometimes have such a strong beliefs. They sound like they're preaching, not teaching. That's on the downside. So for Geminis, truth is kind of negotiable. As I mentioned before, Gemini says, but on the other hand, what is the other perspective, right? It's a matter of perspective. But for the Sagittarius, they're looking for the absolute truth. Okay, they're very concerned with morality of things, right? Ethics are important. Is this moral? Like all these philosophical questions come in on my mind. So Gemini is all about reason, common sense, and Sagittarius is more about like intuitive leaps, because also connected with religion and beliefs. And so there's a lot of untangible things with Sagittarius. And I like this, what Frank Clifford also said. I think this is a great way to see Geminis and Sagittarius. The Geminis is a salesman and Sagittarius is an evangelist, right? So there's a big difference, right? So I think that's very important for us to know for this lunation. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'll show you the chart. There you go. Okay, I hope everybody sees this. So this is the chart of this full moon coming up on, as I mentioned, June 11th, 3:43 a.m. Eastern Time. Please disregard the house positions of the planets. I set this chart for 0 degrees Aries. So it's like a world point. This is we don't know where it's going to manifest. We're just going to look at the energies at the moment. Okay. So if you see here below, I like this to show this. It shows us the elemental and balance and modality balance. So we can see that fixed Earth is the most dominant here, which is interesting because usually with mutable signs, we have this mutability, we have this adaptability, but this full moon is not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like a Taurus energy. And we have a Venus there, and maybe I should just a second. Maybe if I do this, a little bit. Yeah, it's still, I was going to remove some stuff. But the mutability is back. Okay, so disregard the angles. Okay. So fire, now it's different because I removed some asteroids. So let's focus on this one. A lot of fire. That's right. We have a lot of fire and air energy recently during this Gemini season. And for this full moon, as you see, the modalities are kind of balanced, but a lot of fire. So I think people are going to be more passionate to express their beliefs. They're going to be more passionate, more assertive, more eager to tell their truth, what they believe in. It's going to be, we're going to be looking for the truth. I think I call this full moon quest for truth. And I think this is exactly what it's going to be. What is truth for us? Is there something as universal truth? Are we going to ever know the truth? Is truth objective or subjective? Like a lot of philosophical questions come up with this full moon. It's also, the other side of truth is lies and deception and tricks. This is, lower Gemini energy. Yeah, it's about, with the full moon, bringing things to an end, bringing things to awareness, to the surface. It's about clearing things up if there was some kind of uncertainty before. So this is definitely a major topic. And now let's see. The moon is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter, for this moon, just entered Cancer 2 days before this full moon. Okay. The sun is ruled by Mercury. Mercury also entered Cancer just 3 days before. So they both have rulers in Cancer. So therefore, there's some kind of subjective approach to the truth. We are coming from the emotional, more defensive, more protective realm. Maybe we want to protect our truth. Maybe we want to protect our beliefs. We don't want to, we're going to be more defensive maybe when talking to others. This is both Jupiter and Mercury are driven by sense of security. And, if they feel that their security is attacked, they're going to, how the crab goes and just pinches you. So that's going to be the way, I think, it's more sensitive nature. So although Gemini, Sagittarius in general are very kind of open-minded and they're not as sensitive, they're more in their mind, I think this is behind the scenes flavor of, of maybe not showing, but feeling it. Okay, so I think this is going to be the place we are coming from for the situations that might occur during this full moon might come from the hidden spots from our emotional side somehow. Okay. And another thing we want to talk about here is what is the ruler of the moon doing at the moment. So not only he entered Cancer, and he's at 0 degrees Cancer, which is the world point. The world point are 0 degrees cardinal, 0, 1 degrees of Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. And those are very important, powerful points. It means that it's going to impact the world. It's going to impact the bigger picture. Even if in our own lives, it means that maybe something will come out that will be seen by people, maybe some things that we don't want us to show them. It's going to be somehow seen and shown in this lunation. That's what this means. What is Jupiter doing is Jupiter is squaring this Saturn. So this is the third, they're not exact yet, but it's upcoming. It's applying to square Saturn. So Jupiter and Saturn square, this is the third time it's happening in the last year. So when Jupiter was in Gemini, he squared Saturn in Pisces twice, one last August, then I think it was for Christmas, and this is the third final one. The Christmas one was retrograde, we revised everything. And this is the final square, but it's in a different signs from last year. So this is very interesting, but it's also a world thing. So I think this is going to be, this lunation will have a world impact. We will hear something. Jupiter and Saturn connections are usually related to finances, economy, business. This is a cycle. Also, we need to go back because this is an opening square. It means that this is the first square after they've been together in a conjunction, and the conjunction happened in December 2020 at I think 101 degrees of Aquarius. So this is like a first action regarding what happened at that time. Yeah, it was COVID. Yes, a bunch of things happened. Think about economy, inflation. So maybe this will have some kind of aftermath or something will happen regarding that. The way we see the world today, how crazy everything is, I'm not even surprised. This will impact economy on a global level for sure. We also have this Neptune nearby. Remember, so there's a Saturn Neptune connection. They're not conjunct yet until February next year, but they're so close this summer. It's almost like they kind of, how they're like touching themselves, but not like it's like this. And then they're going to be pulled together. And then but it's so close. Like it's very, very there. So this Saturn is also squaring Neptune. I mean Jupiter. Sorry, Jupiter is squaring Neptune as well, not just Saturn. Okay, with Saturn and Jupiter square, there's always Jupiter wants to expand, and Saturn says, Jupiter wants to grow. Saturn says, not yet. Jupiter wants to, brighten the horizons, whatever. Not yet. So this is going to be really affecting in that sense. But there is Neptune there. So whatever Jupiter touches, it kind of makes it bigger. So with Neptune there, we can have a sense of we can have a sense of maybe news being fake. And I have to say this because this is very interesting, because just before this full moon, there's going to be a Mercury-Jupiter conjunction in Gemini. And I feel because it's going to be the last degree of Gemini, I think a lot of chatter and blabs are going to happen. A lot of things that are not true. And I think this square with Jupiter and Neptune just a couple of days later during this full moon will tell us maybe there's going to be a light. I think there's going to be some kind of connections with maybe some hidden truths coming out, or maybe we are still delusioned by something. Maybe Jupiter is going to amplify our delusion, and maybe our imagination will take the best of us. Maybe we'll see things that are not really there. Lots of things can happen with this. It's very significant. Sometimes sometimes more things, more doesn't mean that it's more for good, if you know what I mean. It's not more for better, right? Because if you hear more news, if you hear more lies, if you hear more these tricks and deceptions, right? So there's a flavor of it. Neptune in Aries is more bold in hype and spin. Oh, hi Steve. Hype and spin, as you say. That's right. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm glad that you feel better. I'm very happy for that. I was just listening to your video. Yeah, a lot of hype and spin. Yeah, so, and this is going to be very much, that it's going to be a huge importance for that. Also, the moon and the sun are also squaring the nodes. So it's like a grand cross with a nodal axis. Over inflated this enchantment. Oh, I like that. Overinflated. That's nicely put. Nicely put. I mean, with everything that is happening in the world now, who is telling the truth? What is really happening? What is the truth? I feel like I'm in some kind of a circus, and I think this is just going to be a culmination of that circus. I think this full moon will definitely showcase, especially world leaders, because it's in a world point. Could they be more acting ridiculous than they already are? I don't know. Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. I think we're still not out of the gutters yet. I think we're still in the muddy place while this is happening. I think the summer is still we're not clear on what really will occur. That's for sure. Yeah, what was I saying? Okay, so the full moon is also creating the nodes, which means it's forming. I know some astrologers do not take into consideration the grand cross with the nodes. I don't know. I didn't explore it that much yet, but I do feel that, when the nodes are involved, there's always some kind of major thing happening. Is it a major beginning or ending? I would say this is a major ending. Lots of other things are happening here during this full moon that are not directly connected to the moon, but they're actually connected for the overall picture. And that is that Venus in Taurus is going to square Pluto. And we have Mars in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. So this is very fixed energy. Fixed squares means there's a confrontation, there's action, and nobody's budging. Mars-Uranus conjunction happened last summer, while the certain leader in the world, his ear got affected, let's say. So this is a square after that. This particular full moon is connected to his chart as well, so we'll see. I don't know what will happen, but it's significant that there's a connection for that. Mars Uranus for all of us in general is more accident prone, more it's like explosive, bombastic energy. We need to really be careful. In full moon, we are a little bit crazy, as I mentioned. So for this, we really need to be also very careful in the traffic and how we do things with knives. So just be careful with any type of sharp objects. Oh, hi Argentum. Hi, welcome. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So that's kind of a very kind of a dynamic, let's say, energy. Venus, Pluto is all about control, power issues, power dynamics within relationships. It's also feeling that you want to control things. It's, as I said, a lot of fixed energy. It doesn't give us a lot of room, although it's a mutable full moon. I think there's a lot of fixed energy, a lot of cardinal energy behind it that doesn't give us much room for to navigate this energy, or doesn't give us much room to adopt or to quickly change things if we need to, right? That's what I feel. I don't know. On a brighter side, there's a little nice things happening. It's Mercury and Venus are in a sextile, so that's like always a great opportunity to say things in a more beautiful and diplomatic way, not to be harsh. So that's something that we might feel that we can lean into as a positive aspect for this lunation. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Moon is trining Mars, so that's also actually a lovely energy to express um, our needs. And it's in fire, so it might be, very inspiring. We might feel inspired and motivated to talk about what we want, what our truth is, what is our belief. I think we will gonna say it. If we come into any kind of discussions with other people, I think we will. This Mars, it's just gonna naturally come. Yeah, but with the square with Uranus, it can be bombastic. Just be cautious that with Mars Uranus squares is also our actions. It's one of those things that when you come into discussion and then you start throwing plates, you know that's the energy. Like, I don't care, this is not, why don't you believe me? Because it's going to be about beliefs, like, you don't believe me anymore, I don't trust you anymore, those kind of discussions, and you're going to be smash. You can smash something. That's my theory on this. So Gentry says this full moon is happening exactly on my north node, and I have Sag, Sun, and Moon too. Yes, that's it. So that means something real major will happen. Usually, when lunations happen on the nodes, it can be some significant things. I feel this is going to be very significant for the world. Maybe we won't see the impacts right away, but in the next 9 months, I think it's going to be a resolution when the third quarter moon comes from this lunar family. Yeah, in general. Yeah, there's also a square between Saturn and Mercury, so that's also being hard on yourself. Thinking, maybe feeling that that your truth is not the real one. Maybe you're going to doubt your beliefs in a way, somehow behind the scenes, on a subjective level. Maybe you're going to doubt yourself and question yourself and what are your beliefs and how you want to proceed. And you might be influenced by the information you hear around these days, more than you anticipated. I would highly suggest that whatever is happening in your life during these few days, to take a step back, to rethink, come back to it later. Don't make any major decisions. Oh, Steve has something nice to say. This full moon is right on top of my moon and very close to my north node. I'm coming out loud. Yes, we're gonna hear your roar. Yes, and I like it. Well, this is gonna be very important full moon for you. I do anticipate, because you started your documentaries a while back, that in the nine months time, and this is the like by next spring, I think it's all about your documentaries and your and telling your version of your beliefs and what you believe and putting it out there to the world. So I think this is your documentary story coming to light now and finishing up. Yes, you're coming loud. I love it. Yes, I think this full moon will be seen. I think in the world we'll see major events, but we also going to see what is happening in our everyday lives. Yeah, it's not going to be quiet. So just watch out. As Steve said, hype and spin is starting a couple of days earlier. So from the 8th already, when Jupiter moves into Cancer and Mercury just the night before, and this square to Venus and Pluto is going to be exact. We're going to feel this lunation for sure from, I say, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to be a few days before. So just make sure that you don't do anything radical, because Uranus and Mars will make you want to do something radical, something that you might want to do, something that you will regret later. Okay, because after this all is over, it's going to be, oh no, what happened, right? Yeah. Okay, this is it. I'm now gonna start giving you some tips and tricks for each rising sign. Okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna share my screen again. It's always a nice surprise to have Steve here. There you go. Okay. Okay, so let's see for Aries rising. Let's see what's happening for you. So, if you know your, I always do this from the rising sign perspective, but you can also, if you have Sun or Moon in Aries, it can also apply to you as well. So this lunation is happening in your third and ninth house. So this is definitely going to be about you speaking up. With all these planets in your first house at Neptune and Saturn, Mars is in Leo, ruling your chart. Where is Leo? Here. Jupiter ruling the lunation is here. So lots of things happening. This is definitely it's about you speaking up to the truth. I think it's time, even if you have some suppressed anger, or even if something that you felt that it's not resolved, I think you're going to say it now, no matter what. I There might be a possibility that you really doubt yourself in a way, but I feel that it's time that you say what you mean. This can also be connected to family matters, or somebody from your family, or some family situations. Um, yeah, because Mercury is also there ruling the during this sun. So there is definitely some kind of conversations about with your family members. It could be your parents or somebody you grew up with, or your current immediate family, somebody you live or share your home and space with. And I think you need to set everything straight. Okay, sometimes. As I mentioned before, all these polarities that we have, sometimes we wallow in the worst of the other sign. So sometimes Aries wallows in the worst of Libra and puts everything under the carpet and doesn't say what they need to say. So although you might be doubting yourself, I feel, I think it's time to say your truth. What do you believe in? It will come up if something wasn't aligned with your beliefs. This will also happen now. If you're going to hire, if you're going to some kind of, if you're doing some courses for certificates, or you are still in university or pursuing your master's or PhD, this may come some kind of reward if you put the hard work. This may also happen at this moment. I think you're going to be maybe extra sensitive as well. About people not seeing your side of truth, seeing your side of things. I think you might be more sensitive than you usually are. Maybe you won't admit it, but I think you might happen because with Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer together. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, a gentleman is saying, yeah, that's nice. Also, Mars is in the fifth house, still in Leo, and there will be some action, with your kids, or if you're just in a romantic relationship that is not a serious one, there might be some arguments coming from there. Or maybe, because Uranus is here in the second house, there might be some situation when your kids want money from you. There's a lot of things happening. Yeah. Let's focus on the full moon. I just my kind of tip for Aries rising would be to find maybe a nicer way to express what you really feel and what you really believe in, and to tell your truth in a more sensitive, sensible way. But you need to speak it. Okay, so that's just a thought. If there are some things that you hear that you don't like, don't dismiss right away people or information. Take it with a grain of salt and think about it before you react. I think behind the scenes, as I mentioned, this lunation will have this emotional signature that we are not kind of aware of, like a little bit subjective. Like we're going to react based on our emotions without even knowing, thinking that we are still objective, but we are actually not going to be. If that makes sense. So that would be my tip. Make sure that your voice is heard, but also try to have a diplomatic voice as well. Okay. Taurus rising. Okay. Taurus, this is all happening in your Venus is here. Okay, nice. So this is lunation is happening in your money houses. But it's not only your money. It's about our values. So I think this is a very tight connection with what you value and what you believe in. And how is this aligned in your life? How are your beliefs and your truth? What is your quest for truth? I think, what is your quest for truth on money, on values? What do you really value? How is this aligned with your belief system? Venus just entered Taurus, so you're gonna be more attractive, more friendly. You're gonna have this beautiful Venus for a month in your sign. You're gonna feel more appealing. People are gonna give you more affection. This can also maybe cloud your judgment in a way, just because you're gonna get all of this attention. Some things with the eighth house, this is sun shining light in your eighth house. Eighth house is also, it's a very hidden house, right? So maybe some things will come up to a surface that you might not enjoy hearing out loud. The eighth house can be also about taboo topics that we don't usually discuss with everybody. Money, sex, other stuff like that, right? So is there I'm just thinking, second and eighth house connections are about finances. There's a maybe an opportunity for full moons is coming to fruition, maybe something to do with your money and having more money, especially from other people, maybe from your partners or from your clients, or from that side. So maybe you will get some money, because I'm thinking Jupiter, first Venus is in Taurus, so she's making a lovely aspect to Jupiter and Mercury, and they're both in earth water signs, which are very fertile, productive. So there might be a situation that if things are already set in motion from before, you might get some kind of reward from getting some money, maybe even tax refund or a grant or sponsorship, scholarship, whatever eighth house money from other people can happen as well, right? Jupiter and Mercury in the third house, so there's like a layer of situation coming from your local environment. Maybe a situation with your siblings. I'm thinking maybe if there's an inheritance, maybe there's some kind of discussion with your siblings about how to divide that money. Maybe there's a discussion. Maybe you're going to be more overly emotional in maybe there's some kind of disagreement or not understanding with your sibling, neighbors. But this is the third house, is also about your extended family and cousins. So maybe there's some kind of family issues, not maybe immediate family, but extended family issue situations that involves money as well. And what do you think is the truth and what is just for you? Don't forget, Venus is also about justice, although more in Libra than in Taurus, but still she has this component of things wanting to be fair and just. So there might be some kind of confrontation or discussion, or just make sure that whatever you do, leave a door open so you can come back and discuss again. Don't close it. You can be so sometimes fixated. Uranus is here also in your first house, squaring that Mars. So you're going to feel more maybe just irritated and more bombastic. And you might react, maybe there's also not maybe a sibling, but a neighborhood situation, something in your local environment, something that is happening that will, happen. On the good side, if you did invest in your education and knowledge, this might also pay off somehow through your income or through other ways of doing things. So that's also a possibility as well here. Never, this is not so bad. Just my tip for Taurus is that think about long term, because you can do it. Think about what can benefit you in a long term, and don't you might have shorter fuse than usual with Uranus here squaring Mars in the first house. Okay, so family feuds sometimes need to be, even if your family doesn't agree with your beliefs or whatever you feel it's truth, it doesn't mean that it's bad. Okay. On the other hand, there will be some situations where you might find some information about your family from your family, something that will shock you as well. I mean, this Uranus here, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Nevertheless, think about long run and try not to make impulsive actions. Okay, Gemini. So this is very important for Geminis. Okay. Geminis, this is going to be very important for you because it's always about when the lunation happens in the active houses, first, fourth, seventh, or 10th. That usually means that it involves outside people, events, or something happening outside of your control, something that something that you will be maybe provoked, or something will happen from the outside events or situation or people. And this is happening in relation in your house of your partner. So there might be some truth about your partner coming, or discussion with your partner about how do you trust your partner? Is there a trust issue? Do you believe in the same things? Maybe your belief system now, and it's come to an end. Full moons can be a release energy, can be energy of letting go, especially with Uranus and Mars square. We might do abrupt breakups. It can be a breakthrough, but it can be also a breakup, and we might just abruptly break up with somebody just because we feel we cannot trust them anymore. But it's based on the thing is with this lunation is I don't think we're going to have a solid foundations on the information that we are receiving, and that our decision making will be also clouded by false information, B, our emotional defense mechanism, and any rational decisions that we do. And this is very important for Geminis because you might do some things you cannot pull back. I was thinking about trust and truth. I know Scorpio is more about truth, about trust, not truth, but speaking the truth and expecting other people to tell you the truth is important. And to trust somebody, to build trust, it takes a long time. Okay, and it can be ruined in just a second. So it takes years to trust somebody, and then one wrong conversation, one wrong word can take it all apart. And to rebuild trust, it's hard and long process, and it's never the same. So if you accuse somebody of lying, or if you accuse somebody of not telling the truth, it can have a major consequences that are you going to be ready to live with them later. Jupiter and Mercury coming from the second house, this is also going to be a lot connected with your self-worth, with your self-esteem. Mercury is ruling you now, and he's clouded by emotions. So I think you should lean more into intuition and on your emotional intelligence during this period. Uranus is in your 12th house with Mars in the 3rd. So there is definitely it's going to be. It can bring explosive, bombastic larger than light words. You say something, like a big word, that it's not nice to somebody. That's kind of a feeling I have. Give you more nervousness than usual, and with all of that anxiety and nervousness, and you just, because you're nervous, you just say something, and then it's going to be bad. It's all about also self-worth. So for Geminis, my tip for this lunation would be to you really need to watch out not to get your buttons pushed, as Steve says, because you react quicker than any other sign. You're very you and Aries, the most are the Gemini and Aries are two signs that say something before they think, and then it's too late. So just be aware, and make sure that information you have is double checked. Don't accuse anybody on anything. Venus and Pluto are in square, so this is going to be a relationship situation as well for you. Yeah, I mean, Jupiter is also ruling your seventh house. Squaring Saturn, you're gonna maybe feel in that you're doubting your partner. There's gonna be a lot of things. So make sure you have your information straight before you make any decision, okay? And before you talk and do anything and say anything that you will regret later. Cancers. Okay. So Jupiter just entered your first house. So this is 1 year of abundance, of maybe some good fortune for you, Cancer risings. It's also a year of maybe eating a little bit more than you would like to, and just enjoying life. But in general, you're going to feel more optimistic and joyful. Jupiter loves being in Cancer. So just, the importance of family and connection and home and belonging is going to be more emphasized. For this lunation is happening in your health axis. So think about your, I'm thinking, what is the truth regarding your health? So for example, maybe if you have some kind of situation, take a second opinion. It's very important that you get more than one opinion, because, you can get one doctor, not this one. And then, another thing, scrolling over internet and looking for some medical advice, or looking for what kind of diet is the best. We have so much information. You need proteins, you don't do this, keto diets, this. So you need to be very careful, and always lean on your intuition when making decisions. Don't get involved. This guy is telling the truth 100%. This person is, this is the best diet. This is the best exercise. This is the best daily. This is the best supplement. This is the best protein powder, whatever. So there's going to be a lot of things if you're going to be thinking about your health. That can also happen. Also, this is the sixth house is about your everyday work, people you work with. There will be some situations that, are they telling you the truth? Can you trust them? What is the truth out there? So there's a lot of things happening, but I think you're in a good position, just because both Jupiter and Mercury are in the first house. So you're going to be more, feeling more secure in the way you express yourself. Yes, it can be larger than light. Yes, you might, say a lot of things, but overall, for Cancer's rising, each lunation is important because you guys are ruled by the moon. The thing is, with moon in Sagittarius, and Cancer and Sagittarius don't have anything in common. It's quincunx energy. Quincunx is also related to health. So there might be, if you didn't take care of yourself, there might some health issues might arise. And I don't know. I just need to. I just feel that you need to do a better research. What is the best? What is the best way for you? What kind of diet is the best for you? What kind of daily routine is the best for you? Or just in your workplace with your colleagues. I would be thinking more of myself than the others in this position between Cancer's risings. I think it's kind of, Yeah, your belief system is going to be also highlighted. What do you believe and what do you want to tell to the world? What is your truth? Yeah, I don't think you're gonna yeah, you have Mercury now in the first house. Mercury loves being in the first house, so you're gonna have a need to express yourself, but how you feel. You're gonna say, look, I don't like this. I feel hurt. I feel this and that. um, Mercury, Uranus is in the 11th house of your friendships. So uh, you might also be provoked by your friends or your groups and communities that you are in. Then somebody might pick up a fight with you. You just do your thing. Just don't get emotionally involved with cancers. You can really get emotionally involved in, and then you don't have a clear judgment because your emotions are clouding it, right? Anyway, think about your everyday life and adjust it to your own beliefs. Okay, that would be my tip. And this is actually a good period for you with Jupiter in the first house. Use it well. It's time for you to kind of shine, and that's it. Just use your intuition. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, Leos. Uh-huh. Okay, what is happening for you? Yeah, I think you might feel, look, Mars is here. I don't know. I'm pulling this Mars Uranus square. Although it's not part of this lunation, I feel it's very, very important. Very, very important. Um, if you did anything, all your creative projects might shine. Your kids, if you have kids, they're also going to be center of the attention at the moment. If you are romantically involved, but not so serious, like it's not a partnership yet, there's just dating scene. Some things might come up to truth. I'm just thinking, if you're dating online and all these people that you are dating, there might be some situation there, maybe like, who can I trust, who can I date, are they the people there? There's going to be a lot of things, so I would take a little bit of precaution, and wait until this period is over before you actually make any serious decisions. If you want to take any of your dating scene into the more serious, committed realm, I think I would wait for it, just because I don't think we know the truth yet. Yeah, although we want to seek, this is the quest for truth. We want to know what is really happening. I don't think we know it yet, and then we want to force it with some impulsive actions. You might be feeling more agitated. I think you're going to be so relieved when Mars finally goes into Virgo, because it was retrograde in your, going through here for such a long time. I think it's time to move on. So I think you're still feeling a little bit agitated and irritated, and you want to act on that. This is also about friendships, groups. What are you doing? How a need to shine as a leader within your group or a community is going to be very important. And I think you kind of now are going to expect that people recognize you as a leader. And if they don't, sometimes, who's going to be the president of this group or something. And you will really want this to be, yeah. Especially Jupiter was in your 11th house now for last year, and you kind of want this to continue, so you can shine and grow within the communities. Nevertheless, Mercury and Jupiter are now in your 12th house, so it will, maybe it's a good opportunity for, instead of expressing yourself out there loudly with a roar, maybe you can express internally more. Write a journal, put your ideas, thoughts regarding what's bothering you on a piece of paper, instead of blabbering it out. Jupiter in the 12th is, it's giving you some kind of peace of mind. I know it sounds funny, but the 12th house is about hidden things. It's about things that are subconscious. So, maybe there are some things you wanna put out. Maybe you wanna explore more and bring it more to your consciousness. Okay, let's say it that way. Okay, so that's what my thoughts are for Leo risings. In general, the tip for this would be question everything, double check everything regarding for example, you might, you are part of a group and you feel that this group is promoting good things, but then you find out, it's a fraud, or there's some kind of behind the scenes scheme, or they're not aligned to your truth or your beliefs. So there might be some kind of disappointment in that way. Don't punch yet. Don't punch anybody. I think you're going to be really, really might have an explosive reactions with Mars in the first house, it's creating Uranus in the 10th, even with in your career or with your managers or something. So in general, put your thoughts, ideas on the piece of paper, and after this is done, then you can see if you still feel the same, and double check everything, because not everything maybe things that you're a part of are now not aligned with your beliefs and truths, and you need to change them, and it's okay. You need to maybe release, maybe let go of some things. The 11th house is also social media. Maybe you want to remove yourself from some social media. It's okay. You don't have to be on everything. Fifth house, Leo house, the fifth house is your hobbies and creativity is always is going to be aligned with your beliefs anyway, right? Because Sagittarius is your fifth house, so there is a constant need to be creative and explore the world and finding the bigger picture. Especially now the sun in the 11th, there's a need to align yourself with the bigger picture and what is happening. Okay, just don't forget. Don't compromise too much. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop there. Don't compromise too much. Okay. Because Leo is also about big heart and generosity. And sometimes you can be too generous. And then sometimes, people can get advantage of you. People don't think about it about Leos, but it's very possible. Okay. So just have that in mind. Virgos. Okay. So yeah, so as I mentioned, this lunation is very important for all mutable signs because it's happening. In their angular houses 1, 4, 7, 10, and these ones always include other people, situation from outside world, and I cannot emphasize this enough. This is definitely for Virgos is seeing what is happening in your home and in your work. How are you balancing these things together? Is everything that you work and what you're building your reputation on aligned with your family mission, let's say, and quest? When with the moon in the 4th, this is maybe more about where you're coming from. And because you were raised probably in a family with the Jupiter being in your 4th house, that was more open-minded, more adventurous. So are you still stuck in those beliefs and truths that you got when you were a kid? Maybe it's time to release some of your beliefs. And is the truth of your parents your own truth? Is the belief system that you kind of took with you when you went to the world? Maybe there's something that will come up. There might some situations from the family are coming up that might not be comfortable, that you may hear. Jupiter and Mercury are in your 11th house, so there's definitely some kind of support coming from your friends, or feeling that you can prosper from the community and groups that you have, maybe online or in person. Mercury is now your ruler. He is in Cancer. So as I mentioned before, although you're very analytical, like pragmatic and practical, there might be some uh, behind the scenes feeling that your usually your objectiveness, your not objectiveness, your ability to analyze things objectively might be clouded by your sense of security, or are your friends your family? Do you feel secure and safe with them? Are they aligned with your truth? Lots of things is happening for you, Virgos. Yeah. So when Mercury is in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer for me is emotional intelligence. So using your intuition and your common sense to make decisions in a combination. This relation will affect maybe some situation at work, or at home. Maybe there is something you need to let go that is not aligned with what you want to do for the rest of your lives. Yeah, Uranus is in the ninth house, so there is maybe a need to maybe you're going to be aware of some bigger picture situation, maybe because you're very analytical, you're very down to very detail oriented. You can be you can wrap up your mind into the small details that you are missing a big picture. Maybe now this will give you an opportunity to take a breath, and if some things, if they're not aligned with your bigger picture, you might with Uranus here with Uranus here in the ninth house, you might really want to break free from maybe restrictive belief systems that you are part of or were a part of. Okay, so there's this need, and it's a psychological. Mars is here, so there's like maybe subconsciously you need to break free from this. I don't know. You're very practical. If you don't practice, you need to practice what you believe in. Okay, so for you, it's not just you need to have everything. Your belief system and your truth needs to be shown to the world in a practical way. So if this is not aligned, if you're just doing something just because, I think it's time to let it go. That's my feeling and thinking about it. Yeah, and there is some kind of emotional, maybe there's some kind of emotional baggage also coming from your friends. I don't know. Saturn Saturn and Neptune are just in your 8th house. There's some kind of psychological depth that might need some kind of resolving. Yeah. Anyway, nevertheless, align yourself with practical belief. I mean, you need to. If you don't practice what you believe in, it's now time to start doing it and remove everything else. Okay, Libras. I love that Venus is now in Taurus. So although it's in your 8th house, you might feel more in line with your ruling Venus. Yes, she's squaring Pluto for this lunation, so there's still a sense of control and power, but it's also empowerment. She's in the 8th house of Scorpio, so there might be a sense of being empowered during this lunation. There's a moon is in your 3rd house, and a ruler of this moon is in the 10th. So there is a connection between what you say in your workplace, everyday, like in your out there in the world. 10th house is not only your career, but it's your vocation. It's how people see you in the world, right? So the ruler being of the moon being in the 10th, coming from the 3rd, the third house is about expressing yourself. So expressing your truth, expressing your beliefs in the work, in the outside world. Is it in your regular work? Is it putting it out there through blog, through video, through YouTube, through anything. Now is the time. Yes, there will be some repercussions. Not everybody will like what you have to say, but I think you need to say it. It's time that you tell your truth out there. No more Miss Polite. I think Miss Polite needs to go to sleep. Yes, that's very important. Jupiter just coming into your 10th house. There's going to be in the next year, especially after this square with Saturn clears, Jupiter is going to be a much better position for you to help you in your career, and it will bring some abundance and fortune, and help you with your reputation, and how people see you. So, I think this is a good start. I don't think this is such a bad full moon for you. Yes, there's some tensions coming, Mars from the 11th, maybe some psychological, you might be feel like a psychological pressure, and then you might just do something explosive and say something explosive as well. But in general, I think with Venus now in Taurus, it will help you to be more grounded and say something in a more grounded way. Whatever you need to say, but you need to say it. So that's very important. You need to say it. Moon, the sun is lighting shine. The sun is shining the light on your communication, on your expressions. Watch out. Even if you feel that your voice is not heard in your current environment, one way or another, it's time to say it. Is it your neighbor, brother, sibling? But I think it's work related somehow. I feel that you need to say. Anyway. If you want to explore the option of to finally showcase yourself. Sometimes Libras have this tendency to agree with everybody and say, yes, I believe in this, but just to be loved and feel incorporated. Now you need to release all of that and tell who you are, tell your truth, and people who have the same one will be attracted to that. Okay, so you're not attracting others. People are going to be you're not going to. You don't want to be the one who goes after others and attracts them. You want them to come to you, if that makes sense. Okay, but you need to tell your truth. So that's my tip for Libras. Say it, even through written word or through oral communication. Just say it. Good luck. Scorpios. Where am I? Here. Okay, Scorpios. This is going to be a little bit hard, just because Mars is your ruler is squaring Uranus, and this really, this really can impact your judgment. I think usually you're very careful. You always observe, and you take time to say things. You're very cautious, but with Uranus in the 7th, especially, it's going to be your one-on-one situations. You might be more explosive, less careful than usual, and you might just explode. So, and people won't expect it, because usually you're very, you do it very subtly. Usually, this is not going to be subtle at all. Lunation is happening in your 2nd house, so there's definitely an emphasis on money. Ruler is in the 9th, so there's maybe there's an emotional need to escape through travel, and then you want to spend more money on it. Maybe there's an emotional need to, there's with Jupiter and Mercury in the 9th house, it's very good. Actually, it's not a bad position for this lunation, just because, first of all, they're trining your ascendant, so there's a help coming from that. They're in the 9th house. Jupiter loves it there. Mercury, it's about learning and big picture. Jupiter loves being in the ninth house, of course. It's there. It's his house. So um, um, there's an understanding of what the bigger picture is. I just feel that people who are not aligned with that, with your vision, they might get, there might be some kind of argument. Okay, so it can be related about what is your truth? How do you see money? How do you see ink? How do you see material world? Okay, and how much priority and emphasis you put on the material things in life, and maybe so the situations and people who are not aligned with that, they might get hurt. If they, you might be impatient and in that sense. But it's not bad at all. I think Mercury and there's going to be some kind of emotional need to align your truth and your beliefs and with a bigger picture in life, right? So usually you don't really care about bigger picture. You're very more interested in the intimate everyday situations, let's say. But this will give you maybe also an opportunity to release some things that you feel they are not aligned with you. I kind of like Jupiter coming into your ninth house for the next year. That it will give you an opportunity to explore the world in the sense that you didn't have an opportunity before, and this lunation will give you a chance to align with your worth, with your self-worth, with your beliefs, with your quest for truth will be more your quest for truth will need some experience and going through it by yourself. I think this is now an opportunity to actually go and do things not just from in your mind, but physically going and exploring some things. Definitely, yeah. I don't know. You might spend money on travel. I just feel there's something coming up with that. What would be my tip for you is to focus on yourself, on your vision of life, and don't try to get others to align with it. Okay, because sometimes you need, you are all about trust. You're all about truth and trust. As I mentioned before, it's very important for you. So is there some kind of trust issues with money, with people you share money with? How is that aligned with everything? So I just feel that with you, Jupiter and Mercury there, you need to think it through. Okay. Oh, Emily. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you. I watched the replay, but it's interesting to think about being a late degree Gemini rising, yet my planets and houses have barely changed. Gemini and Taurus are equally worth me taking a note of. Yes, depends of course on your degree of your ascendant. That's right. That is true. Yeah. Okay, Scorpios, think about your bigger pictures. Forget about the others. Don't get so invested in aligning and pulling the others on your side to be with you, and to just, it's very hard to be on your own. I understand, but this is your quest. This is your quest. Sagittarius, this is of course very important for you. So let's see how this goes. Okay. So for the first time, after 12 months, Jupiter, your ruler, is now in Cancer. Okay. As I mentioned before, Jupiter, Sagittarius and Cancer energy are a queen cogs. They don't really understand each other. And, Jupiter is although Jupiter likes to be in Cancer. So that's a favorable thing for this happening, right? Nevertheless, this is all about, again, about your relationship in yourself. So this is something that is going to be the sun is shining the light on you. So I'm just curious, and what happened in the last year and a half since the new moon in December 2023? Excuse me. Who are the people you were involved with? Were you truthful to them? I'm just thinking, did you commit? Did you say that you're going to commit to somebody and then you maybe didn't? I'm not just saying even romantically. I'm thinking about businesses. I'm thinking about one-on-one relationships here in the seventh house. So there's going to be some kind of um, your quest for truth. Is how is this truth aligned with all your partnerships, one-on-one people? Do they support your need for adventure and freedom? Um, are your beliefs aligned with your partner's beliefs? The rulers are coming from the eighth house, so there's going to be some psychological depth. Maybe there's some things that definitely there's like um, psychological insights maybe you're going to have for this full moon. Maybe something intuitively will come. Maybe there are some kind of situations that are going to be more intense that you would like, because the eighth house is about house of intensity. Maybe you need to explore. Maybe you need to really go to take a session with somebody, I don't know, who can explore and see if your life is aligned with what you believe. Yeah, very interesting situation for Sagittarius. I mean, Jupiter in the next year will definitely I think you will find more sense of security if you explore the other side, the esoteric side, the psychological side. If you go into the depths, because usually you're afraid of depths. You just want to run away from the depths, just go and be freely, do what you want. But maybe there's some truth that you need to hear lays in researching the depths of your psychology, or going through to seeing the life through. Maybe there's a deeper meaning, because you are looking for deeper meaning anyway, right? Try not to be judgmental. Try to be open-minded, and find another way, because all of this will affect your relationships. They may be affected already. Maybe there's somebody. I'm thinking Mars is in the ninth house. I don't know, from Uranus here. Of course, if you travel, just be careful with Mars in the ninth and Uranus in the sixth, or at workplace as well. Somebody pushes your button. I wouldn't. Sometimes you're very kind of, stuck in your beliefs and your truth, and even dogmatic, that you can't even see beyond that. So I think exploring the depths of your psyche might give you some answers, so you can find your truth. There you go. I think that's the basic tip for Sagittariuses. And I think you are definitely aligned. I mean, your partners do want to give you light, right? They want to put you in the spot, right? Okay, that's it. Explore your psyche. Maybe the truth is under the truth is out there or under there somewhere. Okay, Capricorns. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going the other way around. Okay. Okay. I love that Jupiter is now in your seventh house for next year. So there's going to be more optimism and joy, and maybe expansion in your relationships. Maybe you will reach another level. Maybe you're just going to have more fun. Maybe you want to go on more adventures and explore life with your partner in general. So this lunation, when full moon is in your 12th house, it's always some kind of need to reflect by yourself, and to find time to not involve other people, and just think about by yourself what is happening around you. Are your decisions based on facts or fiction? This is also a health axis, so make sure that you do everything necessary for you to have your mental health rest. Think about your mental health, so you take care of that as well. With moon in the especially this one is going to be a little bit hectic with a lot of things happening. The ruler of the moon is in the seventh, so there is maybe some I don't want to be a negative here, but the 12th house is also hidden enemies, and the ruler is in the seventh, in the open enemy. So maybe a hidden enemy will become open enemy. I'm just saying it can happen as well with this lunation, because some things will come to the surface, but make sure that it's true. So I'm just very skeptical. Are the things that we're going to hear for this full moon, are they really truth? Are they really truth? What is really truth? Why are they coming up now? Do you guys ever question yourself, why the things, when you hear something, why is this person telling this now and not before, if they knew it for a long time? Like, what is all these situations? So this is also very, very important, I think, for Capricorns, because they're very Saturn is your ruler. Oh, I forgot to put Saturn as your ruler here, squaring this Jupiter. There is a Neptune situation here. Yes. Yeah, so there's a square to you. So Saturn is squaring you. Saturn is squaring Jupiter. There's like a T square between who you are and that. A lot of I think there's going to be a lot of action happening. And I think you need to take care of your mental health. I think maybe this is going to be mentally overstimulated, too much, things coming from the outside world that you need to process. And I think you're going to need some rest and peace to process the information. That's what I feel. Confusion. This is also, remember, everything that Jupiter touches, and he's touching also Neptune. It could be overly, is it illusion? Is it imagination? Is it delusion? Is it truth? What is it? Bigger than light. I like what Steve said earlier. Overinflated disenchantment. So you might be also maybe delusional about some partnerships. The question is, what is truth in general for this lunation? What is truth? What is truth for you? What is really truth in general, philosophically? And okay. Tip for Capricorn: just because you need structure and stability, and you need some in everything. This is not a structural. This is not going to be structure. This is going to be falling apart of the structure. Is of the structure of your beliefs, structure of what you think is truth. There's going to be some kind of falling apart. It may affect your mental health, so make sure that you rest, have time for yourself to think things through. Mars here, yes, and Uranus here, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of squares in the sky, a lot of action-oriented aspects. A lot of things will happen, whether you like it or not. Yes, you can take it, but don't forget, Saturn with Neptune is also and Saturn is also with Mercury in a square, doubting yourself, not being sure. You need time to make sure, and this is also intuitive. Moon in the 12th is asking you to lean on your intuition. A lot of self-doubt here regarding who you interact with. So take your time. If you can just isolate yourself for a few days, it's going to help you hugely. I thought you were Taurus rising now. Emily, you're right. Yeah. Okay, Capricorn. So take a deep breath and be an antisocial Capricorn for a few days. Although people will want to really drag you into their situations, really. This is going to be really over the top involvement, especially family, partnerships, a lot of things happening, work. you need to listen to your intuition. I know I think with Saturn in Pisces for the last 2.5 years, you're ruling your sign, you are now able to lean more into intuition and act accordingly. Okay, let's see. Aquarius. My dear Aquarius, this sun is moon is in the 11th house of Aquarius house. How lovely is that, right? And Saturn is in the 3rd. There's a lot of I just feel Aquarius in general is a sign. I know you are, friendships are very important. Being part of a group, an organization, or a community for higher purpose, for helping the humanity in general, is your need. Is that your truth? So there's some kind of things are aligned with that, but what I feel here is that you just need to make sure that everything that you are a part of, all the things that you are a part of, are some kind of are aligned with your with what you really believe in. If you're like a humanitarian, if you are part of some kind of charity or some kind of group, is that aligned with what you really are passionate about? Oh, Steve has an idea. I love that. I suggest that truth under Sag full moon and a Jupiter square Neptune is something that is becoming increasingly nebulous. What is truth, global or individual? Exactly. I 100% agree. Yes, I started with that. Like, it's like a philosophical approach to truth. What is truth in general? Are all the truth? Old truths are dissolving. New truths have yet uncovered themselves. What a great time to be an astrologer. Oh, I love that, Steve. I'm going to quote you on that. Old truths are dissolving. New truths have yet to uncover themselves. Wow. Yes, it's a great time to be an astrologer. I 100% agree. Yes. And this is like this is also now you inspired me, Steve, with this. What is the truth about where are we as a society going, as humans? How are we going to align our truths with the AI as well, and just a technology advancement as well. And with Uranus coming to Gemini soon, it's going to be even faster, and we're going to see how that goes. So for Aquarius, this is actually definitely a big question. Their quest for truth is: are they fighting for the humanity and society that is sustainable, or we need to align our truth individually for the bigger truth and bigger belief as a humans? I love that Jupiter is now in your 6th house of everyday daily habits and everyday work. So it's going to help you maybe with give you maybe some better health or feeling better. For this particular lunation, both Mercury and Jupiter are there. So you kind of need to align this adventure with your everyday habits, and make them part of the bigger picture. Okay, so Aquarius can sometimes lose that sense of that little everyday things make the big thing at the end. So maybe that is a focus on that as well. Saturn just came into your 3rd house of thinking. So you're thinking, I know that Neptune is here, nebulous or not, but maybe you're going to get some more focus on how you express yourselves and as well. So that's something. What else can I say first? Excuse me, I have my phone ringing. Seriously? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Nevertheless, Aquarius, I feel this is not such a bad full moon for you. I think you may be going to release some of the things that are not longer aligned with what you want to do in the world and what impact and legacy you want to leave. And think. Rick Levine says, "Think locally, act locally, think globally." This is definitely applying to you. It also think little steps. Things about step by step to make a bigger picture. You can't make the big impact right away, right? So that's something to think about. Okay. And then little Pisces at the end. Okay, let's see. Pisces. I love that Pisces, Jupiter, your traditional ruler, is now in Cancer, in your 5th house. So I think you probably in the next year are going to experience more fun. I think you should have definitely more joy and fun in life. Oh, what did I put? Neptune. Where's Neptune? It hit himself. Oh, Emily agrees with Steve. Absolutely. Yes. I love that. Yes, so you're the last mutable sign. You also become more affected because this is also impacting your family, home, and work balance. There's an emphasis on your work situation. I think because Saturn also he was in your house for first house for 2.5 years. If you really did discipline and focus for the last 2.5 years, this Saturn may kind of reward you when it comes to the 2nd house, because there's a light shining on your work. There might be some rewards coming from your work. I like that the ruler of the moon is in the 5th, so there is definitely some something that some creativity exploding that helping you. If you are an artist or if you are whatever you do, I think your creativity might really help you to shine. The question again, like with everybody here, is what is your work environment? What is your career? How people see you? What do you want? Is your reputation in the world aligned with your beliefs and your truth? That's number one thing. Are you feeling balanced with your work and life balance? There is definitely, if you want to creatively express yourself, or not just creatively, if you 5th house can be a lot of things. It's about being a leader, right? As well. So maybe you are ready to step up and for that leadership position. Maybe you want to step up. Maybe it's time to kind of move from not the victim mode. I want to say that, but from the maybe it's time to get a little bit real. Pisces, maybe it's time to get a little bit real, and I think this Neptune Saturn conjunction in the 2nd house will kind of will bring you a new cycle of bringing you more flexible structure that you need. You need to flow, so it's going to be like a balance between what you need. You need some kind of structure, but it's going to be more flowing. So you're going to have more ability to flow within it. Okay. And on the other hand, Saturn to Neptune will give also more structure to your imagination, artistic expression, or just to your need to escape. So there's going to be some kind of balance, and it's very important for you, I feel, okay, because I have a tendency to escape from the harshness of the world and not deal with it. So this is going to make you deal with it, maybe in a way that you are going to be able to handle it. That's my thought on that. For this lunation, I think actually like it for you. I don't think it's, there's a bunch of stuff happening. There might be some, Mars is still in your 6th house. There might be situations with your health or with your co-workers or something in everyday life situations that and and yours is here. So just be careful in traffic, or just to get in arguments with people based on nothing. There's as I said, we don't know what truth is. We can't just get into these discussions, and your buttons might get pushed. But overall, focus on what kind of legacy you want to leave in the world. Fifth house is also about legacy. There's a definitely emotionally intelligent way to express yourself, or what is the legacy you want to leave. Is your legacy aligned with your truth and beliefs? And as I explained, this will give you some kind of balance that you can handle it all. Okay, so I think for Pisces, this is actually a good situation. Just be careful in everyday arguments and traffic. That can be challenging. Okay, I think that's my tip for you. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm talking more for over an hour and a half. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Emily. Thank you, Argentum, for being here today, for your insights. I really appreciate you, Steve, always and forever. And good luck with this full moon. I know many of you have personal things happening. What else? Oh yeah. So I will be, just a short thing, I will be traveling end of the month. I'm going to spend summer in Croatia again. So my time schedule might be different for when I'm going to show up my face here. I don't know yet. And a quick reminder if you still want to register for my lecture for ESAR next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The topic is the art of strategic thinking when Mercury meets Pallas Athena. You can register. There's a link below. If you're an ESAR member, it's free for you. My moon phase planner, free moon phase planner for summer, is also ready for you to download. A link below. If you're on Instagram, don't forget to I have a giveaway for free reading. So please go to Instagram and just follow the instructions how to enter the giveaway. And that's it from me. I wish you a happy full moon. And yes, a lot of changes are happening. We are definitely feeling the shift of energies next week. I'll be here with more Astro tips every day. And of course, if you want to book a reading or you need anything, JasminaBrazovic.astrology.com is where you can find me. Same thing on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you more than you will ever know. Trust me.